Hello, neighbor, and welcome to K-dramas for Joy. If you're looking for a new show to watch, I have a new one to recommend for you. This week, I'm going to recommend the limited series Destined With You. It is currently streaming on Netflix as a swoon-worthy romantic comedy suitable for ages 12 and up. This is an original screenplay written by No Jae-sol, and it stars Rowoon and Joboa. There are 16 episodes in this drama, each about an hour long, and it's available with English subtitles. I personally binged watched this over a weekend, but then I was sad because it was over, so watch responsibly. Destined With You is the story about timeless love and the power of an ancient curse. Our heroine is a civil servant named Lee Hong-jo, who is one of those people who just wants to be liked and is the overachiever and doing anything she can to help anybody at any time. And you would think that would make her really popular, but no, people just really can't stand her and find her obnoxious. You know, it's one of those teacher's pet kind of thing. In my opinion, I think it's more like a teacher's pet kind of thing where people are like, oh, you're just doing it for attention. But really, no, she's just doing it because she really wants to be liked. The show introduces Hong-jo as she's getting transferred from her current job to go work at City Hall, which you think would be good. It would be a promotion, right? But no, she's getting transferred to City Hall to work for a guy who hates her, who she's worked with before. She knows he hates her. He knows he hates her. And from the second she walks into the new job, you feel that tension, not just with him, but also with her current new coworkers who work with him. Yeah. So I'm not a fan of seeing bully culture, schoolwork. It gets to me every time, but I feel like the director on this show really kept it lighthearted enough that it doesn't really bother me so much. So if you're a little sensitive to that kind of stuff, I think you're going to be okay on this one. Our lead lady is introduced to our lead man when there's an accidental death on State Park lands, and she's assigned the duty of getting the dangerous ruins torn down because of the accident. Well, the ruins are technically not on state lands. They're actually in family inheritance and a family ancient duty to take care of these things that is currently in the charge of our lead male, Jong Sin-yu, right? Okay, so our lead man, Jong Sin-yu, is played by Rowoon, and he is a talented lawyer from a rich family, living the expected perfect son life. You know, he's super smarter than everybody. He's awesome at his job. But the only twist on him is that he's dying from an ancient family curse. We are introduced to his character and the connection to the curse as he's visited by a ghostly bloody hand that comes up his face. And okay, I can't watch horror films because my brain is wired to never forget them and relive them over and over as if they're real. So coming from a person like me, I can say that this story, they add enough comedy into it that it didn't get to me. Like, it's a little bit of horror, but not enough that it's going to keep you up at night, which, you know, if you're like me, you will appreciate. But if you like horror, it's got the elements, which you'd also appreciate. I would love to know what you think. Did you think it was corny? Did you think it was good? What would you change about that? Would you keep it exactly the same? Let me know in the comments below. You know, let's talk about it. Our hero and our heroine have a very fun introduction to each other that I'm not going to spoil for you because I think it's hysterical, but I think it's also part of the trailer, which I'm going to link the trailer below in case you want to watch that. If you've already started watching K-dramas, then you will totally get the gorgeous Grim Reaper reference that is part of that introduction. Ooh, and I should probably mention that Hong-jo is the reincarnation of a powerful Joseon Dynasty era shaman. That adds into it. It's kind of fun. We have some secondary characters to keep the show lively. Our lawyer's girlfriend's name is Yoon Na-young, played by Kim Yura, or just Yura. I believe she's a pop star. She's a beautiful socialite and the daughter of the city mayor. Na-young also has a connection to our heroine. They went to high school together. So that leads to some interesting tension and brings a little bit of our backstory on both characters. We also have a very handsome mayor's assistant who every girl in the building is in love with. His name is Kwon Jae-kyung, and he is played by Han-jun. He's one of those socially awkward workaholics, and they go into a little bit of his backstory as to maybe why he's antisocial. There is definitely a lot more to it than that, but I don't want to throw out any major spoilers because I want you to enjoy it as you watch. One other thing to note is that I really love the interaction between Rowoon's character Jinyu and his mother in the show. It feels super genuine, and I think you'll appreciate how much I love this actor from these scenes as well. If you've seen Business Proposal and My Demon, this is kind of a mix between the two as far as lighthearted versus sinister. Mix of settings in this series. I really enjoy it when they show the same place in the present and the past, because to me that kind of brings you into the whole character a little bit better. There's a couple of those sequences in here, and you'll see that in the trailer as well. When they go the past to the present, it's the same spot, same people, but different times, obviously. A lot of dramas I've watched feature some delicious looking food. It's a thing that I'm going to tell you every single time I recommend a show if it has good food. This show featured goobmy fried chicken. The close-up with the big hunks of garlic in this one looks super yummy to me, and I also love that they eat them with tongs. Because really, fried chicken is so greasy and it gets all over your hands, and it's really embarrassing when you're trying to do anything, right? I'm wondering what the little round bread thing in the middle is, and the little pastries on the right look like pastel de natas to me. I bet they're delicious. Something I look for in every show is product placements, because I find that really fun. Sometimes they're cheeky, sometimes they're very subtle and you don't see them. So in this show, the only ones I could find were the goobny chicken, which is a little obvious and sponsor the show. And then there was one section when Hangzhou is getting ready, doing makeup or something, that I think was a beauty brand. I think. But I'm not sure. I couldn't find it. And there's one other thing that cracked me up. So they drink beer, right? Every K-drama, they're drinking beer and soju and whatever. But the can, it looks to me like it says beer in Korean, but I haven't had it translated. I think I'm going to have to do that, because if it's literally just the example prop and says beer, I am going to crack up so bad. It's going to be awesome. So if you can read it, or if you have a little translator app that can look at it immediately, let me know, because that would be so funny if it's a beer, like generic beer. Or if it's a real brand, because if it's a real brand, then, give it a shout out. What I liked best about this series was the mix of mystic events, past life connections, cheeky humor. I think my favorite moment is when Rowoon's character first interacts with Cho Boaz after she's tried the spell book. So the spell book's booming, because it's, check the acting and comedic timing, brilliant. I seriously laughed out loud and could not stop smiling because it cracked me up so much. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I will look forward to your comments. What do you think about what I've told you so far? Do you want to watch it? Do you need more information? Did you see any, if you did watch it, did you see any other product placements that I missed? Talk about them in the comments. Let me know and I'll look them up. If you especially enjoyed Rowoon in this show, then I will highly recommend you try watching Tomorrow, which is a show about a young man who's in a coma, whose spirit is recruited to help convince the living not to commit suicide. So it's serious content, but done in a very casual and sometimes comedic way. I thought it was really, really good. See my video on that if you want to know more. Thank you for letting me share this with you, and I hope to see you on the next show. Fighting. Bye for now.